Welcome to our retirement, folks.
Morning.
Morning, everyone. Sorry. That's all she does.
Blow me nose.
You want to be out walking with her. She might as well have it stuck to her face.
Oh, I remember when we used to go out with your mum and she used to be always blowing her nose.
Oh.
All right. Ian.
So today we're heading out. We're gonna plan is to head for Shibden Park. Is it Shibden Park? I think
that's what you said.
Have a look. See, it's a blue sky,
Yeah.
sunny day, as it said it would be.
Yeah.
So we'll have a look at that on our way to hotel. Holdsworth Hall Hotel we're going to.
Yeah.
We can check in there at 12 if we wanted to, but we'll go and have a wander first. And that's that, yeah.
Hopefully it's not too cold out there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sometimes it can be a bit warmer, can't it?
I don't know if there'll be any heat in that sun or not.
No. At least you won't have to de-ice the car.
No. No. What am I gonna...
What you thinking of?
Yeah, I'm a bit unsure of what to say when I go back in time, because the video I did when I was talking about piano tuning, it just bombed that. I don't think people are interested in it. And I was going to talk about how I learned to tune, but that's it. That's just as complicated. So I'm thinking I won't bother talking about that.
Yeah.
Just trying to think what went on. There we were running the piano shop. Oh, I think during that time, at some point, what happened was that Melvin employed a French polisher down at the warehouse, Bill, and at some point, Pat went down to the warehouse. You did.
No.
She always argues with me about this.
I didn't go down to...
I'm stood there in the warehouse, I'm seeing it in my head. I'm seeing it in my mind's eye, standing in Melvin's warehouse, watching Bill be very reluctant to show you anything.
Yeah, but I didn't think that one until we actually moved to Waddingham, that I started investigating doing French polishing.
No, because what were happening was they used to some of the pianos used to have what Melvin called brighteners.
Yeah.
When they came into the shop, and that was a brightener. It was just instead of stripping all the polish off, sanding it down and grain filling it and then bodying it up from scratch. They just
went over it with
a very, very
thin
wire wool pad or one of these Scotch Brite pad things,
Mm.
and then went over it with French polish just to brighten it up. And I think you started to do that in the shop at one point.
Well, don't remember. But my memory's not so big, much to go on. Right.
But because by the time when we got down to Lincolnshire and started the workshop, you were already familiar with French polishing. I mean, you didn't think you were up to much, but you knew the process, and we were French polishing pianos. And I remember as I went to this, not CAB, it was an organisation that was set up in them days, and you could go, if you were running a business, you could get some advice for free. Can't remember what it was called now, but I asked if a French polisher could come and give us some pointers. And when he come, he said to you, well, what's up with that? And you said, well, it ain't good enough. And he said, well, it looks all right to me. But I think that was, at that time we were using like the kind of grain filler we were using, like a paste.
Yeah.
And it left a kind of cloudy.
Yeah, dull effect.
It obscured the grain a bit somehow. Had a kind of cloudy effect on the grain. You didn't like that.
No.
But we finished up with getting hold of this grain filler that was a liquid.
Yeah,
that
clear.
you just painted on. A clear liquid. And when you started using that grain filler, there was
a remarked difference.
there was a lot better. You could see the grain through the polish really clear.
Yeah. Yeah, the old chap at Melvin's, Bill, he wasn't in for imparting any of his experience to you, really.
No.
He just wanted you to go away and do it yourself.
Yeah. He just said that it's just better felt than tell.
Yeah.
You'll pick it up, you know. It showed you the rudiments and that.
Yeah, how to make a fad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you had to thin your polish down, and well, sort of have it a bit thick at the beginning, and then thin it down so that you were.
That was with mess, were it?
Yeah, methylated spirits.
Yeah, you thinned it down with mess as you went.
Yeah.
Until it was quite
thin.
They called that spiriting off.
Yeah.
The last.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could see it. You could see it come.
I mean,
I could never get that. I could body up, but I couldn't spirit it off.
Yeah, you had to leave it. It was like you did so much, and then you had to leave it, because if you kept on going, it'd just drag what you'd done off onto fad.
Right. That's what it would do with me.
Yeah.
I suppose I didn't have the patience.
The time to just
leave
it.
Know when to leave it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know when you were in hospital and I was trying to finish that
grand lid.
That grand lid. I could get it so far and then I couldn't get it any further.
Yeah.
It'd come off again.
Yeah, you were being too quick with it.
Yeah. But that's going forward quite a few years. Is that?
Yeah. When we ran the gallery.
You mean the gallery? You mean the piano shop?
The piano shop. Trevor used to go and collect pianos on his own. By this time we'd got, was it a trailer?
Oh yeah, the dark. No, I didn't. When we were running the piano shop, Neil did all the deliveries.
Well, how come when you went? That
were in Waddingham.
No, because it fell off.
Oh, yeah, it did. So what was I using then?
I think it were a trailer. Oh, maybe it were a van. Some kind of a van.
God, I can't remember.
No.
I know, we started off, we had a blue trailer.
Yeah.
Single wheels. Fairly
I think it
primitive.
might have been that.
Fairly primitive trailer. It was covered.
Yeah.
It was quite still big, covered thing. With a door on the back. Maybe I had that.
I think it maybe was that.
Because I remember picking that piano up from Boston Spa in it.
Right.
In summer, I don't know what it was.
I mean,
that was when I had. That was really towards the end when we were closing the shop, because it was that piano with the curse.
Yeah, but Melvin used to collect people around him that were just absolutely top class, really.
Yeah.
And I think they'd all more or less taught themselves and in how to do these things, but they were brilliant. Brilliant. And one of these people were a lad called Pete Parr, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't believe what he could do with wood. He was just fantastic, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So the thing is that when Trevor went to collect this piano, it were someone who died, and it had been left in their estate, hadn't it?
It was what is it when someone operates the estate of a dead person.
An executor.
Executor to the will. Yeah, it was that person contacted me because this person had died and they had to dispose of all the stuff, and they wanted to sell the piano, and now asked me if I was interested in it. So I went out there to have a look at it, and I took the trailer with me just in case I bought it. And it was a Steck, which is a good make. But it was biggest Steck it was an upright, but it was biggest I'd ever seen.
And you were on his own?
I were on my own. It was a big overstrum, full iron frame. It was a beast, but it had been done in a French quartered veneer. It was really nice looking thing.
It was.
But he said, you're going to have a problem, because I agreed up with him on a price and I bought it. But he said, you're going to have a problem getting it out, because after this piano I brought in here, she'd had a heater, a storage heater put in the hallway, and the door opened onto it. So you couldn't get the door completely open. So I had to take the door off, the outside door off.
What he hadn't told you is he had flu.
I had the flu at the time. Don't know whether it was flu or cold or what, but I felt... It
was bad. You were rough.
I felt rough. And I had to put this piano onto the bogie on its side. So I had to do that on my own. But I knew how to do it. And I got it onto its side and got it out into hallway. And I got it out of the house, up the path, and into the trailer. And then I had to put the door back on. And I mean, I was feeling rough. I don't know how I did it when I think back. And then I drove back to the shop and parked up right outside the shop. Miracle upon miracles. You couldn't do it now.
No.
And I don't know what happened. I got the piano was on its feet in the van. It was on its upright in the van, and I got it out onto the bogie.
You got it out of the van? And you were coming up the courser edge?
I was pivoting it to go up the courser edge, and it just went. And it did a cartwheel on the top corner of the piano and finished up laid on its back, half on the road and half on the pavement.
I go, well, I mean, roads are so busy now, you
won't hear it,
won't
but then
even...
It made a right racket.
Everybody came out, didn't they?
What the hell was that? There's me just stood looking down at this piano. Anyway, I got it back up, got it back onto the bogie and got it into the shop. And I thought, that's cracked the frame for sure, as that.
Soundboard.
Oh, soundboard. That's done some damage as that. I got it into the shop and I took all panels off. The top lid, where it had cartwheeled on corner, it had just completely destroyed the corner.
Crushed it, hadn't
Just
it?
crushed it, the top corner. But everything else, I couldn't believe it. I checked the frame, checked the soundboard, nothing.
No, everything seemed to be
wow.
all right.
Anyway, I took the lid off, the top lid off, and took it down to Melvin's and Pete. When that lid came back,
you couldn't have told that it had ever had any damage.
You couldn't.
No,
It was perfect.
Just a fantastic bit of work.
Yeah, it was.
Wasn't it?
Yeah. But after that piano came into the shop, the phone never rang for 6 weeks. Never sold a piano.
It was the beginning of the miners' strike, wasn't it?
I think it was. Yeah. And we never sold a piano. In fact, we had orders cancelled.
Yeah, because of the strike.
And it was, I said to Melvin, I think this piano's cursed. I said, do you want it? He says, yeah, I'll take it down here. And so Neil come up and got it and took it down to the warehouse. And Melvin never sold it. Same thing happened to Melvin.
9 weeks, wasn't it?
I don't know how long it was. And Melvin said to me, he says, I think you're right. I think this piano is cursed. I says, I've got to get rid of it. That was a funny story.
Yeah. He sold it to French, didn't he?
Yeah, it went out to France, did that piano, yeah.
Oh, it was a lovely looking piano.
It was a lovely piano.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it had a nice tone and everything.
But it was a bit strange.
It was a big one.
Yeah, it was big.
Really tall. Yeah.
But it was strange that as soon as that came in,
yeah.
we never sold the piano and neither did Melvin.
I know.
Yeah. And as I say, it were at the beginning of miners' strike and people who had put orders in for specific pianos.
Repercussions of that strike were incredible. How it snowballed.
Cancelled, didn't they? Yeah. And it wasn't just, it went throughout sort of like different kinds of people
were affected
by it. It wasn't just sort of miners or I mean school teachers and
I don't know, shopkeepers.
Yeah, It was strange,
All
wasn't it?
sorts of people were affected by it.
Yeah. Right, knock-on effect.
Yeah, it was. But I was, funnily enough, on Facebook, Sophie had put quite a few pianos up for, advertising them. Or a Steinway, a reconditioned Steinway Grand, 35,000.
Was it?
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
And he has, when these reconditioned pianos are really good. He has a Steinway expert working for him, does Melvin.
He has all sorts of people
He does, yeah.
working for him.
Funny,
Chinese.
he always did have that business nous about him, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
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 And he don't want to retire.
I mean,
He's not as old as me, but he'll be getting on.
In his 70s.
He'll be in his 70s now.
Yeah. I mean, his granddaughter works for him as well, doesn't she? And
Yeah, it's a family.
yeah, it's a
affair.
family business.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think her husband works for him as well. His granddaughter's.
Yeah, he does
husband.
deliveries.
I don't know whether his daughter used to work there. I don't know whether she still works there.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Forgotten her name now.
No, maybe not. Maybe it's granddaughter's.
Best Broad Pianos, it's called.
Yeah.
I think
It sells
you
all
can't-
over.
I don't think you can just go to his shop. I think you have to have an appointment. I think you have to. You don't just walk in there, do you?
Yeah, and there's floors of pianos.
Well, about four floors full of pianos.
He has men that deliver and move and
People who regulate, repair, tune.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's just the right business.
it is, yeah.
And starting off from one little man in a back-to-back with two pianos in his front room.
Yeah. I know.
He sure knew. Had a business head on him.
Melvin, he did.
What
Anyway,
he wanted.
God, is that 22 minutes?
Yes, it is. We better go.
22 minutes. I've got a film where we're going today. Okay, folks. See you. Bye.